Good evening and welcome to the Winter 2021 Madden Challenge Competition, a competition hosted by the Daniels College of Business at the University of Denver. We are streaming live from Marjorie Reed Hall on the University of Denver campus, where it is snowing again. Tonight, we have students, alumni, parents, and friends attending this online event from all over the country. We appreciate your support and involvement with tonight's event. Tonight is the third time we have held the Madden Challenge competition online. My name is Joshua Ross. I am the Director of Entrepreneurship at the University of Denver, and I will be your host tonight. Welcome. This competition has taken place every fall, winter, and spring quarter since 2012. During this extended run, we have given away over $120,000 in prize money, and we have had over 360 student winners. This is the Madden Challenge Trophy. Every quarter, the students compete to win the coveted trophy. Bragging rights, cash prize, some very cool swag, and it doesn't hurt to put it on their LinkedIn profile as well. So here's the swag, here's the trophy. Our talented marketing team will be posting throughout the event. So please follow us tonight on all of our social media channels and use the hashtag DU Madden Challenge. And please follow us in general to find out what's happening with entrepreneurship at the University of Denver. We are posting, keeping people updated on events, curriculum, competitions that are ongoing. We have a very special guest tonight who will kick off the event. It is my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the Daniels College of Business, Dean Chowdhury. Welcome, Dean.
Thank you, Joshua. Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to welcome you to our third virtual Madden Challenge. Hopefully, we're not going to have it in virtual format too much longer. But if you look outside of the weather today, maybe this is a pretty good day to have this one in a virtual format. I have a great job today because all I really want to do, first of all, is to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the Madden family first and foremost, because without their generosity, obviously, this would simply not be possible. As Joshua showed you, over 8 years, we've given $120,000 in prizes, and that is due to their generosity. So thank you very much to them. The next thing I want to do is say thank you to the judges. And I believe that we have a number of our alums and even one of our current students as a judge tonight. And I want to sincerely express my appreciation for all of you taking the time to share your insights and your feedback with our budding entrepreneurs. And finally, to our budding student entrepreneurs, I want to say, as I've shared with every other group, that I believe this course actually teaches you two of the most important skills that you're going to need going forward in life. The first is an understanding of how the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution are transforming virtually every aspect of our lives. And you are going to be leading that transformation moving forward. And the second is an entrepreneurial mindset. Whether or not you end up starting your own businesses down the road, the spirit of creativity and innovation that you are bringing and learning in this course is something that's going to be critical in a world that's constantly changing. So congratulations to all of the student participants and all the best. I look forward to hearing about your ideas, and I look forward to learning a little bit more about how you all plan to creatively use these technologies in entrepreneurial ventures. Good luck, and thank you.
Thank you, Dean. So let's get started. This event has many moving parts and requires a lot of dedication from a number of people to make this happen. Throughout the evening, I'll recognize all of the people that helped make this event happen tonight. But I would first like to introduce our entrepreneurship team, Entrepreneurship at DU, a talented group of individuals that I get to work with every day. Rosanna, Ashley, Kevin, Ronnie, and Jennifer. Ronnie and Kevin are the backbone of our social media team. Have done a wonderful job building awareness and a social media following for entrepreneurship at DU and the Madden Challenge. We have a marketing meeting every week, and we discuss different strategies. And I'm constantly amazed at the insight and brilliance of our young students in the way that they approach social media and marketing. So they'll be posting throughout the event, so please engage. So the winter quarter for the fourth industrial revolution was taught in person. There were challenges with both teaching and learning with masks while maintaining the proper physical distance. There were some of the classes taught in non-traditional classrooms, which was difficult. And adding to the complexity, there are some students in person and students attending online. So the faculty would have to work very hard, mixing both the in-person experience and the online experience in this high flex experience. And they did a wonderful job. The student teams were tasked with identifying a problem, an unmet need, or opportunity, and using one or more of the 6 core fourth industrial revolution technologies to solve the problem, address an unmet need, or capitalize on an opportunity. The team spent a total of about 5 weeks developing their ideas with one goal: convincing potential investors to invest in their idea, in their innovation, in their creation. Oh, and to add to it, each team spent the next 5 weeks working on this project, social distancing, working through various team dynamics. The teams were creative and had to identify the best processes and tools to communicate and collaborate virtually. This was a project on its own. So the faculty met during open call, and this is when we select the teams to decide which teams make it into the Madden Challenge. As we were watching the videos, and this was a few different faculty members said this as well, but I was struck by a common theme for the videos, for these ideas, for these innovations. It was purpose-driven innovation. These were students that were coming up with ideas, innovations that make a difference, make an impact, solve a real problem. I believe the end product, which you'll see tonight, speaks volumes about the creativity, the motivation, and the tenacity of each one of these teams. So you'll watch pitches that use a few of the fourth industrial revolution technologies: artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, extended reality, additive manufacturing. The judges will score based on the following criteria. Was the problem, unmet need, opportunity clearly articulated? Was there a clear and succinct overview of the innovation and how it solves the problem or meets the need, opportunity? Basically, how does it work? And was the target market clearly defined? And how does the target market engage with the idea properly addressed? This is the criteria the judges will use tonight. Audience, we haven't forgotten about you. You will also have the opportunity to weigh in tonight, to cast your vote. At the conclusion of the final pitch, there'll be an audience vote. You'll get to cast your vote on the best pitch. So let's meet the judges. It's my pleasure to introduce our 5 judges for tonight's event. 4 of our judges are DU alums, and one judge is currently a student. Lauren Barnes is a third-year management major with minors in biology and entrepreneurship. She is the co-founder and CEO of One Kind Cup, creating a sustainable soft drink cup straw lid for the food service industry. She currently works to manage her team, board, and investors for her company. As well, she's a Microsoft Office software TA, nanny, and a full-time student. Our next judge is Anthony Graves, a public affairs and economic development consultant with more than 20 years of experience creating strategies to help organizations enhance their relationships with critical stakeholders, build positive community brand, and advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. Anthony earned an MBA in international business from the Daniels College of Business. Our next judge, Peter Yesterwich. Peter is a lifelong digital native living in a post-digital world. Recently, Peter has been helping to run Siberia, a design and engineering studio who works on developing strategy, design, and products for clients such as Google, Airbnb, Amazon, Netflix, and IMAX. Peter is a 2005 Daniels alum and enjoys staying active in the school's ventures as an executive board member. Our next judge is Erin Hirsch, a proud alum of the Daniels College of Business MBA 2001. Incidentally, she was also one of my classmates. After 2 years of management consulting with the Denver Management Group, she returned to her alma mater as the director of recruiting. Erin then took the opportunity to pivot back to industry and started her own recruitment consultancy in Vancouver, focused on helping tech startups hire the talent they needed to successfully scale. Erin has spent the last 8 years recruiting for Amazon Web Services. And our final judge tonight, John Eric Borgen, President and CEO of Borgen Investment Group, a family investment office focused on asset allocation and public equities, real estate, and venture capital. In 2014, John established the First Tracks Ventures, a seed stage tech fund that has made over 30 investments, focused on supporting Colorado and regional-based entrepreneurs. John received his MBA in finance from the Daniels College of Business. Judges, welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. Audience, we will have a chance to hear from the judges a little bit later on in the program. So we are ready to start the competition. Here are our 4 teams that are competing tonight for the Winter 2021 Madden Challenge. Each team has created a 6 to 7 minute pitch video. At the conclusion of each pitch video, the judges will have 2 to 3 minutes for question and answer with one of the team members. At the conclusion of the 4 pitch videos and the Q&A, the judges will leave us for approximately 15 minutes to select the winning team. During that time, while the judges are away deliberating, we have a very special guest speaker. Rain Aubrey from Pocket Change will join us. Judges, once each pitch video is concluded, please turn on your microphones and cameras for the Q&A. All right, let's get started. Let's hear from these talented teams. Our first team to pitch tonight is Ski Treads. Team members, Colby, Mark, Emmett, John, Betta. The Q&A will be handled by Colby Collins. Will you please roll the video?
The United States represents the world's largest ski market with a high number of resorts and the world's highest average attendance out of any country. The industry is dominated by several key players, mostly operating a network of integrated resorts. Unfortunately, however, the sport is one of the world's most expensive. Skiing has never been cheap, but in the 1970s, it was honestly affordable. In the mid-1970s, a week-long lift ticket at Vail cost just $84. A one-day lift ticket at Vail now costs more than $200 for just one day. Not only that, but skiing is expensive past the initial cost. The cost of travel to and from the mountain, food, and other accommodations make skiing a uniquely expensive sport. Hotels near ski mountains are often 25 to 50% more expensive than hotels of the same caliber located not near a ski mountain. Because downhill skiing is largely dependent on ski lifts, we've all depended on large, expensive resorts to ski. And if you don't want to pay the big bucks to go to an expensive resort, backcountry skiing is often far more expensive, often requiring the use of helicopters or snowmobiles to get up the mountain. Until now.
Ski Treads is a mobile skiing device to help you get up hills and conquer the backcountry. We use 2 technologies, IoT and additive manufacturing, to bring you the best possible product. Ski Treads is an easy-to-use ski device that elevates your day through a faster and cheaper experience. Ski Treads are easily applied on and allow you to go up the mountain without using any lifts, and reach hard-to-access powder skiing with ease. Each 3D printed box contains a Raspberry Pi with a beacon, Bluetooth capabilities, and a geopositioning system to stop your skis from crossing. With each ski treads comes a remote that you can attach to your poles that allow you to accelerate and decelerate. The final part of ski treads is the easily attachable and removable waterproof adhesive Velcro strips. This allows you to simply take off the ski treads.
Our broad target market is backcountry skiers in the United States, and this is estimated to be about 6 million people. Our focused target market is backcountry skiers in the state of Colorado. As we gain a foothold here, we plan to expand to the rest of the country. The demographics of our target market are people from the age of 18 to 44, they tend to be male, they tend to have an income of $75,000 or higher, and they tend to have an education of a bachelor's degree or higher. The psychographics of our target market are people who are very active and tend to have an outdoors lifestyle. They like to go out on the weekends and do stuff in nature, go skiing. It's people who prefer the backcountry over resorts, and it's people who are early adopters of new technology. The behaviors of our target market are people who like to upgrade their equipment regularly. They like to have the newest stuff, the newest equipment, the newest technology that has come out. They are people who buy from specific ski stores and brands. They don't go to generic sporting goods stores. And they prefer high quality over cheaper prices when they're buying their equipment.
Ski Treads uses extendable treads in a pneumatic system to both move and lock the treads into place to provide the most traction on the snow. The Raspberry Pi controls everything else from the acceleration to the geopositioning system. Through the Raspberry Pi's Bluetooth capabilities, you can connect your phone and the remotes that we provide. The geopositioning system tracks where your skis are pointed and uses that information to make sure your skis are never crossed. And if they do happen to start to become crossed, it will adjust the thrust automatically in order to keep your skis straight. Through the beacon attached to the Raspberry Pi, our ski treads tracks your position in case of an avalanche, and you or your friends can connect their phone to your beacon in order to hunt you down. Each ski treads contains a lithium-ion battery to power everything and is all contained in a 3D printed waterproof sealed box.
Now, we created a survey that went out to a group of skiers, and our primary research results consist of 21.1% of our participants don't go backcountry skiing due to safety concerns. 10.5% of our participants don't go backcountry skiing due to the price of the equipment. 45% of our respondents would rather go backcountry skiing if the price and method of doing it was cheaper and easier. 73.2% of our respondents are open to using new technology to improve their backcountry skiing experiences. And 56.1% of our respondents thinks that the price for the equipment of backcountry skiing is way too expensive.
Because of our target market being niche, we'll be using micro-advertising and marketing strategies. We will be using YouTube influencers who make skiing content, like the YouTube influencer Candid Dovex, who currently has 400,000 subscribers, to market our product, since that demographic will be more likely to try out our product. However, as our business expands, we will be using macro marketing strategies to reach a lot more people. While our business is a business to consumers, we'll also sell to other businesses as well, but consumers will be our primary focus. We will sell our product to people via both a web store and a physical store, since people are using web stores more often now. The total price of the product is $200, with an option of rental, which is $30 per day.
More than just creating a product, we also want to create a community of people here in Colorado. So 5% of all of our profits will be donated to SOS Outreach, a charity based in Colorado, inspiring youth to make positive changes for successful lives through outdoor experiences and leadership programs.
To once again reiterate the product that we're trying to sell, we are mainly trying to push for both the safety and convenience for snowboarders and skiers. Now, due to this makes our main competitors both the manufacturers for beacons and ski skins. Ski skins are material that attaches to the bottom of your skis, and it helps with traction while both ascending and descending slopes. And beacons are radio transceiver devices that are used to help find the location of people in the event where, if they are buried under the snow, they can be found relatively quickly. Now, with the prices of these two products being individually bought, ranging to almost around $700 plus, we are able to essentially combine these two products for both a cheaper price. Now, the main competitors for both of these brands consist of brands like Black Diamond, Pomica, and Contour.
Now strap on your ski treads, zoom up the mountain, and surpass the precipice of your skiing ability.
Excellent. Judges and Colby, please turn on your microphones and your cameras. Audience, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom to ask Ski Treads questions. We'll do our best to accommodate both questions questions from the audience. Who has the first question for Colby?
Hey, Joshua, it's Anthony Graves. I'm happy to jump right in. Well, hey, team, congratulations on a fantastic presentation. Love the music, by the way. I felt like I had my own ski party, like a pre-ski going on here in the background. So I actually have a bit of a question for you regarding how environmental and policy environment might impact the model. So clearly, like Vail Resorts and other major organizations are looking at the impact of climate change on the business model. Just wondering how climate change impacts your model. Also, from a policy perspective, a lot of counties forbid motorized apparatus or vehicles in backcountry. So I'm just wondering if you looked at those two risks, climate change and the policy environment around motorized instruments in backcountry environments. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Regarding the environment, we actually considered, so it's run on batteries and they're going to have to be charged in between uses. And our thought was to provide a backpack with charging ports that comes with solar panels. So all of the power will come from the sun. And regarding the motorized vehicles, we did not look too much into that. They aren't like it's not a massive tread that's on your ski. I don't know how that would go with the laws regarding snowmobiles and stuff, but we'd have to look into that.
Thank you.
My question is a little bit more around the user experience and what they do with the treads once they're up at the top of the mountain. You mentioned a backpack, but I didn't see a whole lot about that in your presentation.
Yes, so our thought was to provide that backpack. So they're very easily removable and attachable through the adhesive strips. So as soon as you get to the top of the mountain, you would just take them right off your ski, pop them in your backpack. And if you get the one that we provide, you just hook it into the charging port. So you would just ski with it down in your backpack and they charge while you're descending.
Hey, Colby, good stuff, man. You know, as we looking at some of the concepting drafts, it's clear that you guys are getting deep into industrial design, which is something that I'm super passionate about. But it really does come down to ruggedness and durability. As you know, we live in Colorado. And if the product isn't great and it's completely durable from start to finish, you know, that can potentially unleash its own host of issues. Was kind of curious to understand the breadth and depth of research you guys have done into that industrial design componentry.
So we did work with the engineer briefly, just mostly to discuss power and the weight limit and incline and stuff, how much battery we would need. Regarding ruggedness, we figured we'd need an actual prototype to discover, you know, how big of a tread we would need, exactly how much power we would need, how wide and long the tread is. It's hard without an actual physical prototype to do tests for us to figure it out, but we have been taking that into consideration.
Hey, Colby, Jan Borgen here. Great job. Big skier. I've got 3 young skiers. And I think your value prop of trying to make skiing more accessible and less exclusive is really noble and something. Being a young skier myself, growing up here in Colorado, I think the more that you can provide that opportunity to more people is great. And I think this is an opportunity for you guys to do that with what you've made. Have you thought at all about how the ski industry, at least the resorts themselves, think about using a device like this to get up their hill? Would you still need to have a pass? I see this as almost an opportunity for younger skiers, beginner skiers on bunny hills to start with some of this rather than using the conveyor belt that I've had to use with my kids. So I'm just trying to think of other use cases just beyond going backcountry and resort and how you might think about using something like this.
Definitely. We definitely thought about using it at resort mountains. We tried to look into the laws. From what we can tell, you really only need a lift ticket to use the lift. You are allowed to hike up in certain spots. So we don't see why you wouldn't be able to put this on your ski and get up in certain spots. And using it for kids on a bunny hill on these low inclines definitely seems like a great opportunity, especially because getting on and off lifts as a young kid can be a problem.
Great, thank you.
We have a question from the audience. It actually, two different people asked this. How heavy is the product?
So we would think it would probably be about 10 pounds per ski it would add onto it. And from our calculations, we'd say a maximum of a 250-pound person would be able to use the product, including like gear that you're wearing and stuff.
Okay. And I have one more. I just really like this question. This is from Ben Zintak. Actually, he's one of my students. One of the reasons people prefer backcountry to the resort is because of the workout they get from skinning up. Do you know what percentage of skiers are going to backcountry for the workout of going up versus skiers who are chasing fresh tracks?
So our thoughts on this was, right, hiking is awesome, and I would love to hike up and ski down and have a great workout. Let's say you do that, you're tired, you want to get a couple more runs in, but you don't have the time or energy to hike back up. So you can hike the first one and then use the ski treads on the rest of your runs for the rest of the day, or alternate back and forth. It'd really open up to more backcountry runs in a single day.
Awesome. Hey, well, thank you, Colby. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
Judges,
guys.
please take 30 to 60 seconds to write down your scores for ski treads. Okay. Our next team is VIMS. Team members, Melanie, Brody, Jackie, Megan, and Jackson. Jackson Brunder will handle the team's Q&A. Please roll the video.
Meet Alfred, a 59-year-old man who is a loving husband, caring father, and world's best grandpa. About 5 years ago, Alfred was diagnosed with coronary artery disease, the most common type of heart disease. Coronary artery disease is when plaque builds up on the walls of the artery, and this disease has no cure. Once enough plaque builds up, oxygen-rich blood is no longer able to flow to the heart. Total or near blockage of a coronary artery almost always results in a heart attack, which was Alfred's situation about a year ago. The disease took about 366,000 American lives in 2017. Although Alfred survived his first heart attack, this does not ensure that he won't have a second one. In fact, 1 in every 5 people who experience a heart attack will experience another one in the 5 years that follow. Second heart attacks are much more fatal than the initial due to the damage that has already been done, making them even more frightening. So, you may ask, how is Alfred able to continue living his life free of anxiety of enduring a second heart attack? The answer is quite simple. Alfred's cardiologist recommended that he receive a vascular implant monitoring system, also known as VIMS. The vascular implant monitoring system is a small, ring-shaped device that is placed inside of an artery without opening the chest. The design of our product is similar to the Aura ring, an external ring lined with sensors. The sensors that line the inside of the vascular implant monitor measure the force in which blood flows through the artery and transform this data into life-saving information. Measuring the force that blood flows through an artery allows our product to determine the level of plaque buildup and therefore predict when a second heart attack will occur. Once the predictive model becomes aware of low blood flow in the artery, the patient will be notified days before the heart attack is expected. This way, the patient can receive treatment that will prevent the heart attack from taking place.
Our product has been initially designed for people over the age of 40 who have endured a heart attack as a result of coronary artery disease. Age is directly correlated with the chance of having a heart attack, and the risk significantly increases in adults over the age of 40. 18.5 million Americans over 40 currently have coronary artery disease, and approximately 400,000 Americans have a coronary artery disease-induced heart attack annually. This does not take into consideration the increasing number of individuals within the United States who are at risk of developing coronary artery disease due to family history and the steady climb of lifestyle diseases. Major risk factors for obtaining coronary artery disease are family history of heart attacks, age, diabetes, blood pressure, high cholesterol, and obesity. However, the big three, diabetes, obesity, and high blood pressure, are all extremely prevalent in the United States. 47% and 44% of Americans, respectively, over the age of 40 have high blood pressure and are obese. 21% of Americans over 45 have diabetes. There is little to dispute that chronic diseases are continuing to grow at a rapid pace, which will expand even further the potential market for our product. Individuals who have already experienced a heart attack report feelings of depression, anxiety, and an overall negative disposition. Oftentimes, this is because individuals who've had a heart attack live in constant fear of experiencing a second. Our product brings extreme value to both the individual and their loved ones because it reduces the stress associated with the fear of a second heart attack. Despite the benefits of our product, our primary research indicates that 15% of our target market is apprehensive about having an electronic device implanted.
The three layers of our device are sensing layer, computing layer, and predicting layer. The sensing layer uses sensors and IoT technology to monitor the blood flow through the artery and combine this with the patient's information such as medication, age, and weight. The sensing layer sends this data upstream to the computing layer. The computing layer takes in the big data provided by the sensor and build a chronological pattern of the blood flow for the individual. This information is then sent to the predicting layer. The predicting layer uses narrow AI and naive-Bayes algorithm, an algorithm that compares incoming data to the patient's own data and similar patients to predict when the blood flow in the artery is becoming critically low. Once the algorithm becomes aware, the patient and their doctor will be notified days before in order for the patient to receive a treatment that will prevent the heart attack, which can save their life.
There are significant regional discrepancies in the United States as indicated in this map. Although we intend to serve individuals with coronary artery disease across America, focusing our initial distribution in the southern region will give us a geographically condensed target market. Marketing medical products does not follow the traditional methods of marketing goods and services. Despite an individual's interest in the medical device, the physician has to agree and be willing to use the product. The wheel picture showed that a marketing strategy begins with the corporate culture. Its success is as influenced by employee engagement and customer service as it is by content and collateral, along with venues like websites, social media, and trade shows. Our marketing will target patients, providers, and administrators, which are three key stakeholders in the use of VIMS. Today, patients have a stronger voice due to their increased knowledge of the healthcare system. Patients have far more influence on the medical services they receive. Marketing to providers focuses on the outcomes and specific technical capabilities of the product. Providers are arguably the most important since they have the ultimate decision maker. Without accepting the quality and safety of the product and having a comprehensive understanding of the technology, providers will be unwilling to promote the product. Administrators are a critical piece of our marketing strategy as well, because without their support, hospitals may be unwilling to purchase the device. The average hospital cost for a heart attack ranges from $50,000 to $100,000. Pricing our device at $10,000 not only saves money, but provides the value of saving a life.
Our competitors aren't truly competition because their products serve an entirely different function. VIMS uses its measurements to predict a heart attack, while our competitors record the heart's electrical pulses for conditions like atrial fibrillation. These are entirely different heart issues. VIMS measures the flow of blood through an artery, while products such as the Body Guardian, Loop Recorder, and pacemakers measure the heartbeat and sometimes send a shock to fix an abnormal heartbeat. VIMS also includes the patient by sharing their data with them through an app, allowing the patients to access data for themselves not only lets them feel included, but will also give them the ability to see the medical information from the comfort of their home.
Together, we can help people like Alfred move forward without living in constant fear of a second heart attack.
Now we'll take questions from the judges. Judges and Jackson, please turn on your microphones and cameras. Who has the first question for Jackson?
Hey, Jackson, I'll go. It's Aaron Hirsch here. Nice job. Excellent job. I'm curious if you thought about starting with a country outside of an F, getting your product to market.
Great question, Ms. Hirsch. We actually have. We really wanted to focus our initial distribution on the South of America, just because of the higher death rate due to heart disease. But coronary artery disease is also the leading cause of death worldwide and is expected to be that way for the next 20 years. So we do see a lot of opportunity outside of the US as well.
Yeah, I think it's good stuff, Jackson. Thanks. Good job to the whole team. So I have spent the last couple of years working hand in hand with Apple's health team in Cupertino. And you guys said that you didn't really have a lot of competition, which was interesting because even though the wearables are definitely getting smarter, I guess I run into a wall when I try to understand why would somebody else want another piece of technology in the equation, yet alone how does that fit into their life? What is the most kind of like non-evasive way forward? So I'm kind of curious to understand, would you guys, as a part of developing the solution, be partnering or rely upon a larger brand to figure out where there's efficiency gains in product design? Or are you guys solely focused on kind of owning all your data, owning that entire ecosystem?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Yesterwich. As of right now, we really think that we can do it on our own, and we've been able to avoid the idea of actually performing open chest surgery to insert our device, and we'll use a catheter instead. And really, we don't think that there is an other option in terms of an outside wearable device, such as a bracelet or something that sticks to the chest that can actually detect the flow inside of the artery and detect the plaque buildup, which is responsible for the cardiac event itself.
Hey, Jackson, Anthony Graves here. I'll jump in as well. First of all, very real problem, right? I know, just to bring the human element, I have members of my own family who have struggled with heart disease. And so I absolutely see the global market for this, but I also recognize the barriers to entry are substantial. So I was going to ask you if you've done any homework on clinical research and an understanding of the risks of the medical device studies that you'd have to put this through and what might stump your forward progress.
Thank you for your question, Mr. Graves. We have looked into this, and one of the major risks of our device, not major risks, but a minor risk, is infection in the coronary artery. And while we looked at stents and the possibilities of those causing infections, we did notice that they're now being coated in a polymer that reduces the risk of infection. And other than that, in terms of obstacles for our research and development, we've really not been able to find other major roadblocks.
Thank you.
We have a question from the audience. Will people with other heart complications be able to benefit from VIMS?
VIMS is really directed towards patients that are suffering from coronary artery disease. As mentioned in the presentation, our other devices such as the loop recorder, pacemaker, deal with the electrical current side of the heart and issues such as atrial fibrillation or arrhythmia. But no, we do plan on just keeping VIMS sticking to the coronary arteries.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Yeah, Jackson, great job. I think you're really on the mark with predictive medicine. I think that's the way of the future. So kudos to you and your team for putting out a product and an idea that's very, very large and trying to solve a very big problem. Maybe you can just talk about the timeline to market. I know there's some questions around the FDA, and how do you think about building a team to go solve this problem? You clearly have a hardware and a software solution, but to solve for both and to make it both great, as PJ was talking about, it takes a whole different mindset. So maybe you could talk about the team that you would build to go do this.
Yeah, thank you for your question, Mr. Borgen. We really value the customer and their confidence in our product and its abilities. So we really want to create our team to be diverse and inclusive, both in terms of ethnicities as well as age, because we do understand that there is apprehension within these groups, age being the technology and having a foreign object placed in the body, and ethnicities as well due to past events that we are now seeing with the COVID-19 vaccine. So if we are able to build a team of people that really understand how to educate these subgroups on the technology and the power that our device provides. We believe that will really strengthen our ability to market.
Excellent. Well, Jackson, thank you very much for your time tonight. Judges, please take about 30 to 60 minutes to score Team VIMS. Our third team is Nova Prosthetics. Team members, Charlene, Jade, and Abdurrahman. Jade, Kiuman Vong. I worked on getting that right. Jade, my apologies. Will handle the Q&A for tonight. Please play the video.
Today in Southeast Asia, President Obama promised $90 million to help Laos clear millions of unexploded American bombs that were dropped decades ago. During Vietnam, the U.S. dropped more explosives on Laos than it did on Germany and Japan combined in World War II.
Phong's devastating injuries came from American munitions dropped more than 40 years ago. During the war in neighboring Vietnam, U.S. warplanes unleashed 270 million cluster bombs on Laos to cut off enemy supply lines. 80 million of them did not explode, and there have been more than 20,000 casualties since the war ended.
And that's where we come in. Hi, I'm Jade Kiumanavong.
I'm Charlene Gao.
I'm Abdurrahman Mohammed.
And we're Nova Prosthetics.
Laos is a small country located in Southeast Asia and is known as the land of a million elephants, happy elephants, and Lao people. However, they also hold a much darker title, the most bombed country per capita. From 1964 to 1973, the U.S. dropped over 2 million cluster bombs in attempts to thwart the upcoming threat of communism. This is more than the total bombs dropped in all of World War II and equivalent to the U.S. dropping a plane full of explosives every 8 minutes for 9 years. Today, more than 80 million of these bombs remain undetonated.
Because of the nature of these bombs, they are able to remain active for years. These bombs are exploding on the people of Laos as the adults work on the rice fields or as children play. Nova aims to provide 3D printed prosthetics made of recycled plastics to these affected children.
In a survey we conducted with station relief nonprofits in Laos, we found out that nonprofits help approximately 1,500 Laotians annually with rehab and various aiding services. We found that out of thousands of people injured from the bombs, 80% of them have lost limbs and require prostheses. 8,000 of these are children. This is our target market.
Laos needs an affordable yet easily accessible solution. Nova Prosthetics aims to use 3D printing to create prosthetic devices made out of recycled plastics. In order to do this, we'll be using two types of plastics: high-density polyethylene, or HDPE for short, and polyethylene tetraphthalate, or PET. Both of these plastics are commonly discarded, especially in Southeast Asia, and so often can be found on beaches, roadways, and of course in products people use and consume. HDPE is a sturdy and easily recyclable material and is often used in milk jugs and other strong containers. However, HDPE cannot be 3D printed directly due to its long polymers and low melting point. PET, on the other hand, is marginally weaker structurally but has a much higher melting point and so can be 3D printed. Taking these facts into consideration, we determined that the best design for an affordable yet structurally sound prosthetic would involve recycled HDPE as a bone to the prosthetic and PET as the meat to the prosthetic. That is, we would take gathered HDPE and use common recycling practices to condense the plastic and cast it into a sturdy and height adjustable bone-like structure and then cover it with a 3D printed custom PET overlayer. Additionally, the recipient may also need a leg joint. If the recipient has a large enough body mass of approximately 70 pounds or greater, a joint assembly built from any common plastic would collapse due to the strong torque and compressive load. Therefore, it may be necessary to give the recipient an aluminum joint assembly, which can be manufactured for less than $20 US. This assembly would be a one-time purchase and would last a lifetime if well cared for. Though this process is a bit more complicated than just pressing go on a 3D printer, it has significant benefits. For one, the bone assembly is adjustable and can last even a quickly growing child many years of use. Also, the 3D printed outer layer also allows for infinite customization and modification to suit a specific child's wants and needs. By combining the two, we get both the robust functionality of HDPE and the rapid prototyping and customization possible with 3D printed recycled PET.
Our target market for our devices are growing individuals who have lost a limb due to the leftover bombs in Laos. While deciding on our target market, we choose to cater our products towards infants and those up to 25 years old. We decide to focus on this age range because growing individuals are notorious for being difficult to fit for prosthetics due to the frequency at which the devices must be changed out. We want to merely emphasize the effectiveness for a difficult target. That being said, our devices can most certainly work for those over 25. We found that those in our target market are almost always outdoors and subsequently constantly exposed to elements such as water and dirt. Due to Laos being an agricultural country, the children are often left to their own devices as parents work in the rice fields, city or jungles. The average infant mortality rate is 33 deaths per 1,000 lives birth and 40.4 deaths under age 5 per 1,000 live birth. This makes Laos the country with the highest infant mortality rate in Southeast Asia. As of 2020, 64% of the population lives in rural areas and 36% are urban.
There are a couple of relief nonprofits in Laos, such as the ones we surveyed during primary research: Cope Laos, Legacies of War, and the Quality of Life Association, or QLA. However, Cope Laos is the only organization aiming to provide prosthetic devices. They are a nonprofit funded through international partners, foundations, and donors. However, their prosthetic devices are created through traditional methods, meaning the process of fitting and finally receiving the prosthesis can take up to 6 weeks and are not 3D printed. Additionally, they use polypropylene technology to make their prostheses, which is more expensive than our material, polyethylene.
Even though in market, Coke Laos would be our main competitor, it is more beneficial for them to instead be our partner. Since both Nova Prosthetics and Coke Laos share the same goal of aiding the people of Laos, we can integrate our system of recycled plastics and 3D printing to make up for what they lack. We will decrease the wait time for the product and reduce overall costs. Our partnership does not have to stop with just Coke. We can combine efforts with multiple nonprofits with similar goals as a joint effort.
If you look at the graph, it becomes clear that each organization lacks in specific areas in which others can make up for. Nova can be the glue bonding together these efforts by specializing in increased accessibility with low production costs and thus creating an ultimate service package of sorts.
If we can integrate our technology and brand with other organizations, we can ensure the best up-to-date needs of the Laotian people can be met and efficiently solved. With a little bit of faith in the effort of humanity, we can create a new beginnings for the Laotians who need us most.
Judges and Jay, please turn on your microphones and cameras. Now we'll take questions from the judges. Who has the first question for Jade? Oh, Jan.
Jade, great job to you and your team. Clearly have identified a market, a need, and how you would go about servicing this need. You're going to be doing good for others while also doing it the right way. I've loved seeing that matrix of how rather than competing, you might have a joint venture with someone there. Could you just talk a little bit more about how you see that working with that competitor that's already there and the timeline for that?
Yeah, of course. So essentially, we want to create it as also a nonprofit, partnering with these different associations that are already there, because instead of trying to maximize profit and make the most money, we want to instead help the people of Laos. And we can best do that by building upon the people who are already there helping and making it more cost efficient for those already there, which can then make it more accessible for other people.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm sorry, go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. Really good presentation, cool need. I work a lot with different plastics and recycling things. So I'm curious what your research into the recycling processes in Laos actually look like. If you're planning on producing there, how are you actually getting that beginning material? Is that you guys doing that? And is that actually cheaper than doing a polyethylene? I'm sorry, polypropylene. Is that actually cheaper than just buying the raw material? And if so, why are people not doing that already?
That's a really good question. What we saw was that in one of the graphs that we included in specifically Southeast Asia, there is a really high amount of the PET and HDPE just in plastics, let's say floating around the river or just in the jungle itself. So in the long term, it would definitely be more cost efficient if we were to gather those materials and melt those down ourselves rather than going out and outsourcing and buying the plastics, which could potentially contribute to the plastic waste in the environment already.
Okay, yeah.
So Lauren, I think you stole my question. That was a good one. Thank you so much for asking. So there are so many things that I really like about your amazing presentations. Congratulations. The number of ways that you're making social impact with this product. Not only are you offering an environmental solution by doing the plastics cleanup, right? There are humanitarian issues you're addressing. It's the materials relevant to the outdoor conditions. I'm quite impressed. I'd love to hear you talk a little bit more about the target market. Like, I recognize that children are the beneficiary, but I'm really trying to figure out the point of sale. Are you selling into NGOs directly or to government systems to provide for children who need a prosthetic? I'd love a little more information there.
Right. Essentially, that's where the partnership comes along with the different organizations that are already stationed. So initially, we did think about using our service as a sort of contracting service to these associations, but we figured it would probably be best to instead integrate into a partnership. So we would try to integrate our process into the prosthetics of, let's say, Cope Laos, who are already providing prosthetics, but they don't do it with the recycled plastics, and they instead they have a longer wait time and they're using the standard techniques. So by being able to integrate what we are doing into their model, we would hope that it would reduce costs while making it more efficient.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, Jade, it's fantastic. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things, unless it, you're faced with some of that education and background on the country and the history. It's, yeah, I was just kind of floored by that story. But just kind of curious why you guys, maybe I'm answering this for you, but it sounded like you don't want to be in education. But I mean, everything you're explaining right now is so, critical in terms of education. It seems like you guys would be the mind share of being able to really distribute some of these critical narratives that you guys are addressing. Am I misunderstanding that, or is that part of the plan?
That is something that we did think about towards the end process, but when we looked at the partnership side, there some of the organizations that we surveyed in our primary research were catered specifically towards educating the Laotian people for what does the bomb look like, specifically for these younger kids. Like, do they know what to look for if they're outside playing? So we figured that if we were to partner with these people as well, we would be able to help integrate that. And then we also talked about this, if we were going to figure out how to receive donors, the way we could do that is to share the story of Laos itself, which in turn would already be raising awareness for what's happening. So.
I have a question from the audience. This is from faculty, actually, Dr. Rosanna Garcia. Great idea. Instead of a nonprofit, have you considered a benefit corporation business model which provides an opportunity to scale the business to other medical uses?
I did not, but we did talk about how if we wanted to expand our target market, let's say if we didn't want to just focus on Laos anymore, would we be able to focus on other places that needed prosthetic devices? And the answer to that is, of course, yes. We just chose specifically to start out in Laos because there's a very big market of people that we need. In terms of looking at a different kind of business model, we have not looked into that yet. But.
Wonderful, because you actually answered the next question from the audience. So that was well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Well, Jade, thank you very much. Wonderful job. Judges, please take 30 to 60 seconds to score Nova Prosthetics. Okay, our next team is Clear Blue. And clearly the best team picture, by the way. They look a little cold, but I love it. Team members are Maya, Nick, Corey, Charlie Kelsey. Corey Lascala will be handling the Q&A portion of the presentation. Please roll the video.
My name is Charlie.
My name is Corey.
My name is Kelsey.
My name is Nick.
My name is Maya.
And we are Clear Blue.
Today we'll be showing you how we developed an artificially intelligent machine with the ability to swim through the ocean collecting various types of plastic. It's designed to look like a sea turtle with several cameras and sensors on its exterior, a compactor to compress plastic it collects, and solar panels on its shell to charge. The purpose of developing our turtles is to solve one of the world's most pressing issues today, ocean pollution.
An estimated 5.25 trillion pieces of plastic are currently in our oceans. And while 30% of it floats, 70% of it sinks to the bottom and becomes part of the ocean's ecosystem. 8.3 million tons of plastic are disposed of in the ocean every year, and due to the ongoing pandemic, the amount of trash in the ocean has increased by 30%. Although current efforts like beach cleanups or using a boat to pick up the trash are helpful, more still needs to be done to make a significant change. Instead of being one of 8 billion who contribute to ocean pollution, we'll show you how you can be part of the solution.
Crush and Turbo will be composed of high-grade stainless steel for two specific reasons. Firstly, it will be useful if a predator becomes curious and tries to nudge or bite our turtle. And secondly, it will be far more sustainable than other hard metals.
Among the many types of high-quality metals, high-grade stainless steel is the least likely metal to rust in salt water.
We'll be covering the shell and machinery of our turtle with a material called canvas. And when composed correctly, canvas can be both bite-resistant and waterproof. Our turtles will be able to distinguish plastic from common forms of marine life, like jellyfish. Not only will we be constantly updating Crush and Turbo's programming, but we'll be running trials in a saltwater pool, which will ultimately enhance the simulation and make it more realistic.
Now, Crush and Turbo will occasionally return to shore to be emptied, evaluated, and recharged.
One way we can prolong the amount of time our turtles are able to stay out at sea is by installing solar panels on their shells. Thus, if our turtles ever need to charge, they can merely just swim to the ocean surface and recharge, all while using clean energy.
Crush and Turbo will be able to use innovative technology to target specific types of plastic at deeper depths.
By installing sensors and cameras on our turtles, they'll be able to identify all 7 different types of plastics, while also targeting COVID-related plastics.
They'll have a net on their inside and an opening at their rear. The net is used to collect plastic, while also allowing marine life to pass through. It's also necessary to have an opening on both ends of the machine so that water can easily filter through. Once our turtles collect plastic, they'll be able to compact it, holding up to 25 pounds, which combines to be over 1,000 standard water bottles.
We will be following a similar business plan to the Adopt a Highway program. We recognize that our product will be expensive to produce, so we decided that we'd be able to generate more revenue by targeting a larger audience instead of the 1% of people who'd be able to afford our product.
Given that young people tend to be significantly more concerned with environmental issues, our company's target market is narrowed down to Gen Z consumers 14 years or older living in California with basic education and access to the internet.
We are targeting a total of 3.23 million consumers in California to release our turtles at Avalon Beach, Doheny State Beach, and Poach County Beach. Their water quality was particularly alarming because their water samples exceeded the state standard for pollution. And another reason we chose California is because this state's political views tend to align with understanding and supporting the realities of climate change.
Based on our primary research, 97% of people care about preserving marine life, 87% of people are extremely concerned with the plastic pollution that exists in the ocean, and 95% of people would take action to support a cause that removes plastic from the ocean if we had the opportunity to do so.
Given the complexity of our product, we put a significant amount of effort and resources towards production, research, and general logistics. We utilize the data about marine life and plastics to ensure that our turtles programming is learning off the best information.
Another crucial aspect of our operation is our website and app with which consumers can easily interact with. On this website, we will keep most of the data we collect. This data ranges from donation amounts to how much plastic our turtle has removed today. Consumers can also use this website to keep track of the rewards they will receive.
We'll be in communication with local authorities and recycling centers of the beaches we release our turtles from. Furthermore, we have developed a docking system that will make emptying and evaluating Turbo and Crush easy and accessible. We're fully aware of the other competitors in our industry, but our product and business model differ in a unique, creative, and future-oriented approach. The most significant difference between our company and our competitors is that we offer an environmentally friendly alternative to cleaning plastics from the ocean, which does not require physical labor. Given the complex features of our product, our turtles will have access to 70% more plastic than any other removal process offers.
Clear Blue will have two prototypes named Turbo and Crush. Both turtles only differ in terms of aesthetics. However, the consumer has the opportunity to purchase the naming rights of our turtles in order to help support our company. Essentially, everything you need to know about Clear Blue exists within our app and website.
All it takes is a quick account setup and bam, you will be contributing to Turbo and Crush saving the ocean. Once you have your account set up, you can watch our turtles live in action via our live stream as they consume various types of plastic in the ocean.
Within the app, we will have a reward system where contributors can earn something as little as a sticker or as grand as a plane ticket to see the release of our turtles on the beach. Our customers will have the opportunity to purchase items individually or enter our rewards program. With our turtles, a cleaner tomorrow starts right now, and our mission will be possible with your help.
Now we'll take questions from the judges. Judges and Corey, please turn on your microphones and cameras. And the audience, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom to ask questions. Who has the first question for Corey?
I'll jump in. Awesome idea, super creative, Corey, and great presentation. Really interesting. I'm curious why sea turtles? I'm curious because of the endangered nature and how that will potentially impact mating and such, but basic fundamental, why sea turtle? Why not a shark? Why not something else?
That's a good question. You know, we really wanted something that moves slow through the ocean so that our technology would be able to process, you know, the different types of marine life and plastic. And all in all, you know, with the whole solar panel idea of its shell, we really thought that the best way to do that would be through using a sea turtle.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Corey, I like your idea a lot too. I was a little bit wondering, like in the world of sustainability, we talk a lot about closing the loop and like what's going to happen. So getting the plastic and then what's going to happen afterward. How do we kind of close that loop and not have things go to waste? So I'm just kind of curious if you've looked into other things to do with what you're collecting from the ocean, and how that fits into your business plan.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I appreciate you asking that. We actually wanted to touch on that more in the video, but we, you know, due to time constraints, we weren't really able to. So basically what we're planning on doing with the plastic within the turtle, once it arrives back at the beach, once it holds up to 25 pounds, we're going to have a recycling company in that area collect that plastic and actually recycle it into products that we could sell through our rewards program.
So similar to For Ocean then? Oh, I'm sorry.
Lauren, go ahead, please.
So it's similar to For Ocean then?
Yes, very similar to For Ocean. And, you know, a lot of our ideas stemmed from, you know, how they gain momentum, you know, through their bracelets and everything. And we think they would be a great company to try and partner with, because in terms of targeting our consumers and getting our product more awareness, and, you know, bring more attention to our reward system, we believe, you know, they have enough of like a social media presence, and understanding to really help us get there.
Cool. Sorry, go ahead, Anthony.
Sorry about that. It's so hard to predict the patterns of talking traffic on Zoom. Thank you for your patience with me. Well, hey, great job, team. First of all, I've decided that I totally want the Crush Cam live streaming in my office. Somehow it was this serene and calming experience. So great job trying to tackle a big, hairy, audacious goal. I actually have a question for you about unit recovery and the types of batteries you're thinking about to trap the solar energy. So sometimes with various technologies that are dependent on solar, things may happen. That solar may not store, and so then you have a device out in the ocean. So have you given any thought to how you recover those devices and what kind of the energy storage looks like within the unit?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I appreciate you bringing that up. You know, we've looked into the different types of solar technologies, and regardless, the underlying, you know, factors that we're going to deal with difficulties, you know, and we fully embrace that. And that's the whole thing kind of with our product in general, is that we plan on updating it, you know, updating the programming, updating the technology. And in terms of locating our turtles, if they run out of power or, you know, they're not able to source that energy, we will have a GPS tracker within each of them to locate them, recover them, evaluate them, etc.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
From our audience, Brennan had the following question. Would you consider trying to sell this to governments?
Yeah, that is a good question. We thought a lot about that. You know, obviously our product is going to be expensive, and we don't expect our consumers to buy them outright and have us take care of them. Instead, we're actually targeting, you know, our consumers. And if one person decides to donate a certain amount of money, then they'll have the naming rights of that turtle, which I think is a very cool aspect of our product and our business. So yeah, I think that answers your question.
Thank you. Well, Corey, thank you. Judges, please take 30 seconds to write down your scores. And then judges, please go, once you've written down your scores, please go to the judges Zoom room to select the winner of the Winter 2021 Madden Challenge. While the judges do that, audience, this is when we're going to have a little bit of fun. Not that we haven't been already. Next, it's time for the Audience Choice Award for the Best Pitch Video. So audience, thank you for your participation. Please select the team you believe had the best and most effective pitch. Kevin has posted the poll, and it'll be up for the next 60 seconds. Please make your selection. The winner of the Audience Choice Award will be announced when we announce the judges' decision. Okay, well, thank you very much. So, while the judges are deliberating, we have the opportunity to spend a little time with Rain Aubrey, founder of Pocket Change. He's going to spend a few minutes discussing while our judges deliberate and talk to us about Pocket Change, a business venture that started at DU almost 4 years ago. Pocket Change is social media that makes things better, a social platform built specifically for you to engage with causes you care about in a meaningful way. So I'm very excited to introduce Rain.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And it is so great to see everybody here. I mean, I feel like this is what we all say, but it's crazy. Madden Challenge played such a big part in my time at DU. I met so many great people here. I met one of my first mentors at a Madden Challenge event. And so it was incredible. The pitches were incredible. And I will do my best to hopefully provide some value to you guys. I'll tell you a little bit about Pocket Change and do my best to kind of wrap up and give a little bit of value. So I'll leave this up as my screen for the most part, so it's easy to download the app, use it as a little bit of shameless self-promotion. But like Josh said, The core of Pocket Change is where social media built for you to talk about meaningful things and to make a tangible impact on the world around you. So I will show you a little video. It's nothing fancy. I'll just talk over it. So just to kind of give you the basics of Pocket Change, here it is. Here's the feed. You can see Natalie's talking about preventing suicide. Christian's talking about supporting arts education. Grace is talking about supporting LGBT communities. So it's a place you make posts, and every post, like, and comment is a micro donation of 25 cents to an amazing charity and cause. So here, Grace made a post about LGBTQ issues, and she's giving to the Trevor Project. So when I like it, I just donated 25 cents to the Trevor Project. If I replied to this post, I'd be donating 25 cents to the Trevor Project. So every single action, every post, every like, every comment is a tangible donation, a tangible action, rather than just tweeting about it or just sharing something on your other stories. In the app, you can explore. We have loads of different causes for you to talk about and take action on. You've got notifications, you've got a profile, just like you would on any other platform, with followers and streak and your total number of pocket changes, all of that kind of stuff. And you can share into Pocket Change from Instagram. So here I am on Instagram. I just press share, and I can share this content straight over to Instagram. So I press Pocket Change. AI predicts causes that this is about. So it's talking about the stimmies. So I'm going to give to financial literacy. I write my post, and then I just Pocket Change it without ever leaving Instagram. And it gets shared right back over into Pocket Change. So I can easily share content from Instagram, Twitter, news articles, podcasts, even Spotify. So makes it really easy for you to see content you care about, share it, talk about it on the platform. So that's kind of the core of what we do. And we're sort of we just switched over into this full social media side. What Pocket Change was initially was a donate button. Just a donate button. We'd put it on all different sites all across the web. And what we really realized was that people want to do good with their friends. They want to be seen doing good. They want to know that they can have more of an impact beyond just their individual actions. And so that's when we really decided to go in this social direction, to hopefully be a place where you can host that part of yourself. Just like you host your business self on LinkedIn or your travel self on Instagram. We want Pocket Change to be the place where you can host who you are based on the causes that you care about. So it's an iOS app at the moment, and we're just actually today soft launching something called our Storyteller Campaign. So I wanted to spend a second talking about this. Obviously, one of the big drawbacks, one of the big challenges with Pocket Change is that everything costs money. But we want to make that barrier a lot lower for people. So we just started a campaign called Storyteller. And basically what this is if you are passionate about a cause, if you want to talk about anything on the platform, you can fill out this type form and we'll give you free credit to start using Pocket Change. We'll start off by giving you $30. So all of your Pocket Changes, all of your posts, all of your likes are totally free, and you're sending donations. So it's literally free money going to causes if you want to talk about something. So I saw a lot of great Madden teams here that seem like they want to talk, like, the turtle. That's an amazing idea. You could get real support on Pocket Change. You could get other people passionate about your cause and other people donating. So that's kind of the Storyteller Campaign. We're accepting lots of different people at the moment. But like I said, we just started. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you want free money and to join Pocket Change, just go ahead and QR scan that with your phone and you can sign up and we'll send you free credit. So that's what we're doing. I'll leave this up on for the rest of my time. But now I'll do my very best to provide a little bit of sort of lessons learned or any kind of value. Who knows if my advice is good? Ultimately, you don't have to listen to anything. I'm just gonna do my very best to give you guys some hopefully not horrible advice. I heard a lot of people talking about investment. We've raised from loads of different angels. We have investors from Hawaii, California, Colorado, Montana, Arizona, New York. So we've got lots of individual angels who have put into Pocket Change and who are really passionate about what we're doing, what we're building. So a couple notes on how we did that, if that's something that you all are pursuing. The first investor is the hardest. If you can start with family or friends, that's the best place to start, because ultimately people invest in relationships. So if a lot of investment comes down to the individual relationship that the investor has with you, or what they see in you as a leader. And so, you know, I often have said that people invest in lines, not dots, and that's exactly what it is. So you're looking for, you know, if somebody's not investing in you at the moment, maybe they'll invest in you in 6 months, maybe in a year, maybe 3 years, maybe in your next company. But people want to see a trajectory of what you're doing. So it's easiest to start out with people that you know. If you don't know anybody, like I didn't know anybody. None of our investors have come from, you know, family, friends, or anything like that. First investor is the hardest. I got it thanks to an opportunity through DU. DU allowed me to pitch at the Angel Capital Summit, which is a major angel conference here in Colorado. I got one investor who is now currently works at the company and is an incredible friend of mine. And that has opened up all of our doors. So the first one's absolutely the hardest. The other thing that I think we've done well in terms of, you know, how it relates to DU is really understood that, you know, DU and Denver in general is a evolving entrepreneurship community. And that means that nothing is set in stone. Nothing isn't malleable. So we've done a really good job when we were at DU of, you know, just being in rooms, just putting ourselves out there. You know, so much of our, you know, early sort of help came from professors. You know, Stephen Haig was he gave us the first $600 to start the first website for Pocket Change, you know, and that was just because we were walking around and talking and became friends with Haig, and kind of went from there. So really, I know everybody encourages you to do this during your time at DU, but like, milk the opportunities that DU gives you, and understand you don't have to play within a specific rule book. We ended up building a team of 40 people, all from DU, on an internship program that Haig actually even helped us with. And that internship program hadn't really been used like that before. So just understand that everything's malleable, everything can be shifted and changed. And that's kind of up to you to make it happen. One other thing about teams, in terms of building teams, that I've found that's been really helpful advice, it's called GWC, get it, want it, capable of it. It's thrown around a little bit in the HR communities and stuff, but I found it to be great advice. When you're hiring somebody, do they get it? Do they get the vision? Are they all about it? Do they want it? Are they going to work the late nights and, you know, sacrifice and all that stuff? And are they capable of it? Do they have the actual tactical skill set to help? So just generally helpful, I think, in terms of hiring people. And Josh, I'm not sure how much time I've gone through. I didn't start a timer for this.
Couple more minutes, and if you want to have, if you've answered any of the questions in the chat.
Sure, yeah, I'm happy to.
In the Q&A.
Let's see here. Q&A. One more last kind of, oh, here, let's see. Rain, tell the shower story. Yes, sure thing. So the idea for Pocket Change came from me being in the shower at JMAC, and basically seeing, like, wanting a button, a do something button on Facebook. I was watching a video of a chemical attack in Syria, and everyone was liking and sharing and commenting, saying, how can we do something? How can we do something? How can we do something? And I was like, there needs to be a button that's just as easy as clicking like. And that's where the initial idea for Pocket Change came from. And then I approached Haig with this idea, and Haig gave me $600. I whacked together a horrible Squarespace website, but that was our very first thing. That's what allowed us to get off the ground, and, you know, win a couple pitch competitions, and then kind of go from there. So that's how it started. It's, I mean, every single entrepreneur starts with that small, tiny little thing that you just keep pulling on that string, and hopefully it gets there. What tools were the most helpful for starting your app? It's a good question. Typeform was really helpful. We still use Typeform today. It's a great survey tool. We've done a lot with Typeform. Our Storyteller onboarding is all through Typeform, so that was really helpful early on. Facebook ads, learn how to use Facebook ads. I use Sketch every day. If you don't know Sketch, it's a design tool, really phenomenal for getting off the ground. Allows you to prototype really well. how do you get people to start using your social media? Big problem I have: a social network. The less people, less value. So how do you overcome the obstacle? Great idea. Great question. It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing. Like you nailed, people go where other people are, you know, from parties at DU to social media networks to investment. You know, everyone ultimately is just a little kid wanting to be loved and wanting to be in a group of people together. So it's the hardest thing. Some of the things we've seen work well are condensed campaigns. So we just ran a campaign around mental health where we got influencers, ran ads, all specifically targeting mental health to get a bunch of people onto the platform at the same time that had something to say about mental health. So that worked. Our storyteller thing, that's what we're currently, one of the strategies we're currently using. So, you know, getting people in who want to be posting on the app and making the barriers to entry as low as possible, aka giving them free credit. That's another thing we're currently trying. And yeah, in general, I would say anything with groups of people. So influencer campaigns can work great for that. So we've done a couple different influencer campaigns with Instagram influencers where it's, you know, hey, all of my followers go get on the social network. That can in general work really well. You want movement altogether. It's the same truth with investment as well. Generally investors move in packs, generally users move in packs. And so anything you can do to get a pack going is the best. And then once those people are there, hopefully they can bounce off each other and stick, create content, consume content, all of those things, and it gets more valuable. But we've been, I mean, a slow growth path, and every user is like a challenge to make sure we maintain them and keep growing and make sure they're inviting their friends. So stuff. But last little thing I will say, it's said a lot of different ways, a lot of different times. Most entrepreneurs agree with the advice, is make sure that you're building the business so that it works for you. Make sure that you're self-aware of what your skill set is, what your time that you can commit to it is, and be willing to not listen to other people's advice. Everybody has an opinion on what you're doing, and ultimately it's your job to listen to everything, sort through the good, sort through the bad, and make sure that you're really doing everything you can to check in with yourself and be self-aware. It's a spiritual journey at the end of the day that's disguised as business lessons. So just make sure you're self-aware as possible and building every step of the way to match that. But that's all I'll say. Download Pocket Change.
Hey, Rain, thank you very much. And in the Q&A, put in there where they can find you. I know you said download it. I know you had the QR code, but you know, anything else that you can put out there or people can find you. You know, it's always an awesome story, and you and your crew have done a great job. So thanks for spending a little bit of time with us tonight.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, everybody.
All right. So before we start with the awards, I'd like to thank all of the professors that teach the Fourth Industrial Revolution. It takes a team and teamwork to deliver this course. There are a number of moving parts, as every professor will attest to. Lots of coordination to make this course and the Madden Challenge happen each quarter. But the people on this team make it fun. And I'm very fortunate to be able to work with such a talented and wonderful group. So I thank you all. Big applause. Okay, it's time to get to the awards. But before we start, I'd like to give the judges a chance to provide comments, feedback on the pitches. So judges, please take a minute or two. Please turn on your mics and cameras and take a minute or two to tell our audience and our teams what you thought of tonight.
Yeah, I'll go first. Yeah, super awesome evening, everybody. It's always weird to go first, right? But I really wanted to commend everybody for their hard work. It really makes me proud to be a DU alum, for sure. Just the amount of time and attention to detail really makes me proud of you guys. And it's clear that regardless of where things shake out tonight with the winner, you guys have just a bright future ahead of you. And I'm so stoked to just be a part of this community. And if there's anything I can ever do to help you, I'm here and ready, willing, and able. So congrats to everybody.
So I'm sorry, go right ahead.
Ditto to PJ. You guys all did great and clearly put a lot of work into these. Some of my favorite things from your pitches were those of you that included graphics of the actual how your product went together. I thought that was really cool. Love to see the sustainability companies as well. That's super awesome. And overall, just really love the social impact, entrepreneurship. So good job to all of you with that.
So following Lauren, I think really I'm the winner tonight because I get a chance to leave inspired by your ideas. You know, it's such a position of privilege to be able to see how your minds are working through solutions and opportunities. And so just know that I leave here tonight with a little more wind in my sail based on what you gave to me. So thank you. And I echo that I'm writing for DU here. So we're certainly resources, and I feel privileged to have been involved tonight. Thank you.
I'll follow you, Anthony. Just a great job all around. As Lauren mentioned, sustainability was a huge thing here. The other thing was you guys thought big. If these were big problems that you're trying to solve, it takes a lot of courage. And you guys thought very creatively. You presented really well. And I'm just honored to be a part of it. So thank you and good luck to everyone.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's super inspired. I have a huge grin on my face that will stay around for a few days. And it's if this is you getting started, I can't even imagine what you'll be doing in the next 5 years or 10 years. And so we'll look forward to seeing you on Shark Tank and in front of all VCs and buying your products.
Students, listen to what they said. Connect with them on LinkedIn immediately. After this, of course. Thank you, judges. I appreciate it. Those were great words. Okay, it's time. So the first is the Audience Choice Award, awarded for the best pitch chosen by the audience. Each team member on the winning team will receive a $100 gift certificate to spend at the University of Denver bookstore. So the winner of the Winter 2021 Madden Challenge Audience Choice Award for Best Pitch is Nova Prosthetics. Well done. Jade, if you turn on your camera and say a few words. Oh, there you are.
Thank you very much to the audience. I appreciate it a lot. I think we were really passionate about what we were trying to do, and we just really hope that showed through. So just thank you for recognizing that. And it's a very near and dear issue to my heart. So I really appreciate you guys recognizing that.
Well, congratulations. Okay, moving on. The runner-up in the Winter 2021 Madden Challenge, with each team member winning $200, is BIMS. Well done, BIMS. Jackson, please say a few words.
Well, first, I'd just like to say it was really an honor to be able to present our innovation alongside these three other fantastic and creative uses of Fourth Industrial Revolution technologies. Thank you for the panelists for attending, the audience, and then also my team. You know, it's always funny to think that 5 weeks ago we started out as complete strangers, and now we've come together to form a really cool idea. And then lastly, Professor Tom Rankin for empowering us and inspiring us to keep pushing forward with this idea. So thank you.
Well said, Jackson. Thank you. And finally, we get to the winner of the Winter 2021 Madden Challenge. But before we get there, I just want to thank the judges, and I want to let the teams know how impressed I am in terms of, I think it was John that said they went after big ideas, and these were big ideas. In your thoughtfulness and your intentionality and the way you broke down every part of your pitch, you did a wonderful job. All of you should be very proud of yourselves. So I will stop talking and announce the winning pitch for the Winter 2021 Madden Challenge, and $500 for each team member is Nova Prosthetics. Jade, you have to come back on. It's kind of like with Billie Eilish at the Grammys.
Thank you again. I'm super excited, as you could tell. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much, especially to my team members. We had the smallest group by far, especially like even in our class, and we were really struggling with that. Lots of late nights, so huge thanks to our group members. Thank you to my family, of course, for sending me food, for not being able to come home from working on this. Thank you to our professor, Dr. Stephen Haig, for supporting us and really giving us so much good feedback, and really, really telling us how much he was proud. So we appreciate that. But especially thank you to the self-appointed CAD lad. His name is Ryan Hamilton, really helped us a lot with the creative aspect of this, from the logo making to the CAD. But thank you to everyone who is supporting us and just seeing how much work that we put in, our passion. I appreciate it a lot.
Well done, Jade and team Nova. Okay, well, in closing, I'd like to thank everyone that made tonight possible. As I said earlier, there are a number of people that are integral to the success of this event. I'd like to thank Patrick Gore for handling the judging. It's no small task, and his help is truly appreciated. I'd like to thank Kevin Douglas, Ronnie Kononova, and Wesson Doctor for all the work they do behind the scenes. Things that make this whole thing look like it just moves flawlessly, seamlessly, easily. It's because of what they're doing. And finally, Ashley Mercer, who is the glue for entrepreneurship at DU. Judges, thank you for your time tonight. It is truly appreciated. I'm very lucky. I have the opportunity to work with these talented, motivated, and socially aware young adults every day. Their passion, commitment, and curiosity is infectious. And this gets me excited to come to campus every day. They approach life with the belief that anything is possible. So regardless of these current social, political, and economic situations around us right now, they look at it as there's always opportunity. So students, continue to believe in your ideas and dreams, that anything is possible. Continue to innovate and always look to the future. You know, Rain said it best, milk it while you're at DU. And I say milk it. If you have ideas, explore them. There are resources available. There are a number of resources available through entrepreneurship at DU. So take advantage of every opportunity while you're in school. Continue to work on your ideas. Believe me, this is just a start. But you know what? The burden's on you now. It's up to you to push to the next phase. Lauren, who's one of our judges tonight, was in the Gateway to Business class. Her team didn't make it to the Madden Challenge, but look at the success she's having now. So keep working hard, keep believing in what you're doing. Congratulations to all of our teams tonight. Wonderful work. Thank you, everyone, and good night.